I'm Rodney.
I'm Jamaal.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This Vince.
And we are
Under Construction.
Fellas, how was your weekend?
Nah. We not talking about our weekend. We talking about your weekend.
Yeah.
We talking about yo, Mr. ATL.
Yeah.
Mr.
Trap. Hey.
So how was it?
Atlanta was Atlanta. Congested, hot, black. Just everything going on down there. We had fun. We went to the Trap Museum. It was ratchetly ghetto. And I loved every second of it because it was just in my element. Jamaal, you want to go with me next time?
No, absolutely not.
You don't want to take a picture about the pink trap?
No, I'm cool.
Now, for the people that's listening, what's the Trap Museum? Because we talked about it a few minutes ago, and I thought it was something else. So, like, what's the... Well, okay, let me ask you this. What did you think it was before you went? And then what did you think of it after you went through there?
Okay, so I do research before I go places, in these strange places. If it's in the hood, I'm going to do research. So I knew 2 Chainz had a pink trap house a few years ago, and that was the trap car out front, and it was kind of art in the place and everything like that. But I knew T.I. had a trap museum.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about the museum.
Yeah, it's a museum. It's only $10 to get in.
Okay.
Parking's free. It's not too far from downtown. It's actually a decent place. It's packed every single day. So we get in. The line is long. It's 98 degrees outside in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm like brown skin, so I'm burning up. My ears are red. We're in the line with these ghetto people from Detroit, and it's straight comedy. It's Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. You guys are ratchet, and I love it.
Detroit
313. I know y'all don't listen to Eminem, but 313 ain't nothing.
Shout out to Lord Jamar. Another conversation.
It's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. They need to get the air conditioning fixed. It was hot as hell. We were all sweating. They had like the trap monuments with the Jeezy Snowman with the bricks, and it was interesting. And then they actually had 2 Chainz pink trap car in there with an open bar and picture of Boosie and actually a jail cell in the back, and it explains you where the trap can lead you. So it shows you the glorification of the lifestyle, and it shows you the pitfalls of it and what can happen and the reality of it. So I like that duality right there. So that was cool.
Okay.
One thing that I did enjoy was Granny in the front. Granny's like, look, y'all act up, I got something for that ass. So
and we gonna leave that statement right there.
We're gonna leave that right there. So Jamaal, how was your weekend? How was your 2 weeks?
Whenever this trap fad goes away, I'll be the happiest dude.
The fad's been around for like 15 years. It's a mainstay.
I really think Rodney did this today just to give me a heart attack. I really think he was in Atlanta like, how can we get on Jamaal's nerves this show? Like what can we do to really piss Jamaal off this weekend?
We need content.
Anyway, to answer the question, man, I had a very laid back weekend. I didn't listen to trap music yesterday. I went to go listen to real hip hop at Petra's and Off the Wall. Shout out to A King and Justice.
So you listen to tree hugger music?
Not tree hugger music. This is like real hip hop with it, when people could actually rhyme. Yeah, so that was my weekend, man.
Man, I really ain't do anything too interesting, man. Just been hustling, looking,
Gotcha.
picked up a few clients, the whole real estate thing and whatnot.
Okay.
And, been watching movies, and I got a kickball tournament coming out. So y'all have
Oh, you back on the kickball thing?
See, I'm only playing tournaments. We're
VIP
We're
status
just
now.
playing tournaments.
I don't have time for you to go to regular kickball.
I'm for rent. Only on tournaments.
So I'm playing in the tournament come this Saturday. So we've been practicing for that. And I mean, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it.
Kaiser, did you have a good weekend? Yes or no?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, cool.
Our producer had a good weekend. Y'all.
So we had to get all bases covered. So we're going to jump into the segment that we call the 10th pick. Recently, the free agent of our team, Kemba Walker, was on the Atlantic. He's on the tour in Japan. And he stated that Charlotte is his top priority in free agency. I have 221 million reasons why. You guys have any remarks or want to say anything about that?
Go, Jamaal.
It's not shocking. I don't know why this is news.
Yeah.
We have been saying this all year. It's been said all season. I have said all season, every interview Kemba Walker does, he has indicated that Charlotte is his first priority. Yep. Now, over the weekend, this was obviously his strongest statement and his most clear statement. But again, every single indication he has always given pretty much the same answer. Now, again, $221 million is a hell of a reason to make Charlotte your first priority. However, I'll say it again. He has always said he wants to fix things here. He wants to win here. Now, with that being said, what is most interesting going forward is, does he know something we don't know?
Good point.
Is there some backdoor deals going on with Kupchak and MJ that we don't know about? One thing I'm very confident of is that Kupchak and MJ do not want the quote-unquote same roster we had last year. I'm pretty sure they're going to be aggressive. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. Let's be clear about that, because there's some fans who think Michael Jordan is just a wizard and he can just wave his wand and everything changes.
Alakazam.
So all I know is I'm pretty sure the Hornets will be very aggressive in trying to change this roster, so we'll see.
Mr. Dunlap?
At the risk of being a jerk, I don't know why we keep talking about this.
Good point.
I'm with you.
Because it, like, literally nothing has changed from like 2-3 months ago. Nothing has changed from 3 years ago.
I'll tell you why you're being a jerk and why we keep talking about it. Because other jerks want to keep saying, oh, man, you know he's leaving. Well, you know MJ don't care. Well, you know they're not going to pay him.
MJ broke.
I don't know. MJ make a lot of money from those shoes. How come he just can't take money out of his bank account and pay Kemba?
He take the money out of the private prisons and send it to Kemba.
Right. So we're being jerks as a reaction to jerks always telling us that it's not going to work out. That's why we keep talking about it, and that's why we're being jerks. So,
Okay. So let me ask you guys a question then. Since we're talking about Kemba Walker, the fan base loves Kemba. Like maybe not wholeheartedly, but the majority of the fan base loves Kemba Walker. We covered, probably more than that. We covered him, we want him back, yada yada yada. What do you guys feel like when you see other fans outside of the Hornets fan base saying that we value Kemba Walker too much, and we probably should allow him to walk because he wouldn't be a piece to build a championship team around?
Honestly, I can see where they're coming from when we say we value him too much, but I mean, it's a two-edged sword. I mean, like, prior to this season, we did value him a little bit too much, but he kind of validated us by making All-NBA. That means you're one of the 15, 20 best players in the league, right, which he is.
Right.
But I see Kemba as probably being a building block to drawing different free agent and different players here. So we have to have like something to draw somebody here.
Right.
Charlotte's not an attractive market. I'm just being real with you. I love Charlotte to the best, to the T, but we're not New York. We're not Miami. We're not even Atlanta. I hate to say it. We're not Atlanta. We don't have the media market. So Kemba would need.
Hey, cousin.
So Kemba can be the draw to bring people to play with him because he's an exciting player. He's third team All NBA, and he's a very special player.
Yeah. No. Okay. Specifically, when I hear Lakers fans say that, the translation is, I just want him to play for our team.
Yeah.
That's what I hear when I hear that from them. Now, when I hear from other fan bases, it's like, well, you're not really in Charlotte's shoes. You don't get it. You're not going to understand unless you are a real Charlotte fan. You just see a team who's struggling, and you see a guy that you like playing. It's like, well, I would like to see him play for a team that's on TV more often so I can watch him play. That's not real. Again, from a Charlotte Hornets fan point of view, you get what I'm saying? As Kemba Walker has stated, we would rather see it turn around and change here rather than Kemba get some success somewhere else. Now, we could be personally happy for him if that would happen. But as a fan of the Hornets, that does nothing for the Hornets.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Speaking of turning it around, there have been rumors that we've been interested in a few Houston Rockets players, namely Clint Capella, Eric Gordon,
Chris Paul,
CP,
Chris Paul,
Broken Down Paul,
and
Old Man Paul,
and PJ Tucker too.
PJ Tucker as well. Do you guys think any of those players coming to Charlotte would be a viable option?
Stop, because before we answer that question, I want to ask you guys another question, which is part of my head with Rodney talking.
Okay.
As North Carolinians, why do we hate Chris Paul so much?
Do we hate Chris Paul?
I do. I do. And I think it's more for me. I think it's more as an NBA fan.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
like Chris Paul.
I mean, I used to be a big Chris Paul fan. I seen him play when he's in Wake Forest or whatever. He whines and bitches too much for me. Like, I don't like the flopping. I don't like the get up in your face tough guy act. And just like, sit your little ass down. That's how I feel sometimes.
I personally have been very indifferent to him because on one hand, like, I love his competitive nature. I really do admire that part about him. I don't like some of the theatrics from him sometimes. But overall, I really haven't had a strong opinion on Chris Paul. Now, however, I have a strong opinion about him being rumored with Charlotte. I'll get to that a little later. I'm gonna let y'all talk first before I go off on my tangent about that.
I'm gonna say this one nugget, then we can move on to the question. I'm in a couple of sports groups and all that good stuff. This is how much people hate Chris Paul. When we're speaking sports and we're going back and forth, we use acronyms as much as we can.
Right.
So I was talking about Chris Paul, and rather than say Chris Paul, I said CP3. And this girl came behind me and was like, he's not CP3. The only CP that I recognize is Candace Parker.
Yo, that is dope. That's dope. That's dope.
All right.
That's dope. That's dope.
I was like,
whoever she was, that was dope.
Like, what? But I don't like him, and a lot of my disgust for Chris Paul comes from his flopping from his early days. Now he's actually playing good the last couple of years, considering his age and how much he's getting paid. Like he's actually been playing pretty good. But I never liked the flopping, and with me being very involved with keeping up with what's going on with the Players Association, like the players don't like Chris Paul. They see him as a someone sucking up to the brass because when his playing days are over, they're thinking he's trying to get into the NBA management.
Right.
Yep.
And as a result, they've said that he's like screwed over a lot of NBA players or whatnot. So
I can see
vote
that.
him out.
yeah.
Now, Jamaal.
Yes.
What do you think about Chris Paul coming to the Hornets?
I'm so glad you asked, sir. Look, man. Let's start here. I don't know what NBA buzz is. I've never heard of this group who just popped up on Facebook and who makes memes. Who the hell is NBA buzz? Because the reason I ask is because I logged on Facebook and there's this meme about Chris Paul possibly being traded to 4 teams and Charlotte being one of those teams.
Wow.
So again, I ask. I don't know. It's not Wojnarowski. It's not Shams. It's not what's my man named Chris Broussard. It is not anybody with any kind of reputation. Let's start there. In terms of Chris Paul coming to Charlotte, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Please stop it. This dude is 34 years old. He will be 38 by the time his $40 million a year contract is up. You are not, assuming Kemba Walker stays, let's start there. Assuming Kemba Walker stays, you are not going to start Kemba Walker and Chris Paul together. That is too small of a backcourt. Number 2,
6 foot.
You can't do that. Number 2, Chris Paul is not going to take a backup role. Number 3, you are not going to pay backup point guard $40 million. This doesn't make any sense. Let's assume Kemba Walker doesn't stay. Let's assume Kemba Walker walks. Why would you give up a $40 million point guard who's 28 to get a 34-year-old $40 million point guard? Somebody please tell me what kind of sense Chris Paul makes coming to Charlotte in any scenario. It does not. I'm so. Would you y'all wait? I'm so frustrated with people looking at NBA memes and drawing up discussions from memes. Not from ESPN, not from Fox, not from anybody reputable, but from a damn meme, and I'm sick of it. I will end my discussion there.
I mean, can you see it as possibly
No.
Cupcake out here just like talking up some stuff to make it seem like he's active?
I'll say one thing. The only reason Chris Paul gets traded here is to use him as a trade chip for something else. That is it.
Nobody wants it. Oh, man.
You know
Thank
what?
you. Well, I'm with you.
You know what would happen if we traded for Chris Paul? We would end a playoff run of another future NBA Hall of Famer. That's the only thing
That's
the only thing that will happen.
That's
That's the only thing.
Dwight Howard, Tony Parker, CP3.
So, talking about the rest of them that Jamaal just couldn't get to, I would love PJ Tucker and Clint Capella. I would love both of them.
I would love Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker.
I would love Gordon, but if we were to bring now this was all contingent on if Kemba Walker stays.
Gotcha.
If Kemba Walker stays and we pick up Eric Gordon, I feel like you have to start Eric Gordon. And if you start Eric Gordon, who else? Who are we getting rid of? Do we keep Graham? Do we keep?
We keep Graham. Monk can go. No, man. See, y'all doing it. We're not doing this today.
Rodney doesn't like Malik Monk, y'all.
I mean, let him go flourish with James Harden. Play off the ball. And then Bacon will have to come off the bench. And Bacon off the bench is not a bad proposition at all.
I agree, man. But I'm
you
more
play PJ at the 4.
I'd more so rather aggressively go for Clint Capella because I say this, man. I worry about Eric Gordon's health all the time.
Good point.
Eric Gordon can score, but I don't think it's enough. Like, if we're going to go after Eric Gordon, I'd rather go after Bradley Beal. Only because I truly believe the Hornets need a bona fide 20-point-a-game scorer. I don't know if Eric Gordon I don't know if Eric Gordon is that. Eric Gordon might be 17, 18. You get what I'm saying? But I want a bona fide, get that dude the ball in the fourth quarter and go get us a bucket so Kemba can not have to save us every game.
Bill can give you 25 a game, bona fide.
25, 5 and 5.
But I think you're underselling Eric Gordon. I think you're underselling.
Nah.
How so?
He's a walking injury, man. Like it's every year he's gonna miss at least 20 games, 15, 20 games.
We got enough of those guys.
Yes. Speaking of injuries, let's go to this 4/5 position. Let's bring in Clint Capella and let's get rid of
any
of those other three.
To round this thing on out. Honestly, I think we overvalue the center position a little bit too much nowadays, especially in the playoffs. Because I watched for 2 postseasons Rudy Gobert being neutralized and played out the games and being a non-factor. So it's just like.
But you know a 5 that hasn't been neutralized.
Who?
That doggone Brook Lopez.
Oh yeah.
Who may be a free agent. In a couple
you want to talk about a great fit, dude. Like
mid-level exception. The full.
Upset, I hope you listening.
So all right. I think that would be something more.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so we're going to segue into our section called Back-to-Back Winning Seasons. Why? Because we
have never had one.
All right. News on Twitter. It seems like the Panthers have followed Mr. Gerald McCoy and Panthers Wire. Is that a good omen? What do you guys think about that?
Well, good is in the eye of the beholder. But I have nothing against McCoy. We've been playing against him for who knows how long. That tells me that he may be coming to Charlotte. He may be coming to the Queen City. And I just need for Cam's shoulder to be good.
Breaking news. He threw overhanded this week.
And I don't know why y'all laughed at that so much because
it's true.
We have a good defensive anchor. And if Cam comes and plays like we know how he can play, hey.
I'm laughing because you just like, man, the hell with this news, man. Like, Cam okay?
Well, and I didn't mean it the way it came up. I'm just saying, like this is good. This is great news. So like we'll finally get a rush on the defensive line, and now we need our offense to complement our defense, and that's contingent.
I mean, we got our Hall of Fame quarterback in the wing, man.
We doing this today?
So I'm gonna throw this question out there, Brother Kaiser, if you hear me. Gerald McCoy signs with the Panthers. What are your expectations?
Championship party will be here.
Is it College Street or Trading Triangle?
We can go all the way to 6th Street.
All right.
All right.
So you heard it first.
Now we're gonna go. Are we gonna go uptown to Trading Triangle, or are we gonna go
downtown?
Downtown.
Definitely downtown.
Okay, we're going downtown.
So in order for the Panthers to have signed McCoy, Torrey Smith had to take a pay cut. What do you guys think about that? Because the NFL is a funny place.
Excuse me, that's a no-brainer. I can take a pay cut or I can take a no pay. It's that simple. What are we talking about?
Or go home.
Or go home.
Okay. So I understand the optics of the whole taking a pay cut, because if you don't take a pay cut, you go home and you get to go be a Twitter activist and respond to trolls and all that good stuff. But here's my frustration with that. NFL players, relatively speaking, to the NBA, baseball, and hockey get paid the least amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they the only league of the 4 leagues whose contracts are not guaranteed?
Right.
That is my biggest.
I've been wondering that for a very long time.
To me, it's the players' fault. They're not willing.
They're not demanding.
They're not willing to sit.
I'm gonna interject here.
Come on, interject.
Just real quick. The reason is because this allows parity in the NFL, because you cannot do what Torrey Smith did in the NBA.
Right.
Cody Zeller can't say, "Hey, I'll take less so that we can get Bradley Beal." The NBA doesn't even allow that. You can only renegotiate to get more money. The NFL is the only league that allows players to renegotiate an existing contract for less.
Right.
That, coupled with the hard cap, is what allows the NFL to have parity.
Right.
It really does, and it's the biggest issue that the NBA has, is that we love the Hornets, but no matter who they get, no matter who we talk about them getting from Houston, they're not going to win the championship next year. Okay? But the Panthers have just as good of a chance as any team. So do the Cleveland Browns. Hell, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I mean, any team can win in the NFL because
It's not going overboard.
Right. I
had to think about it for a second.
Within reason, I mean, but if you look at the NBA, there's maybe 4 teams that have a legitimate shot.
Right.
Where in the NFL, I mean, you could look at 16 different teams that have.
Things can change very quickly in the NFL, i.e. the Cleveland Browns.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's why I understand that, the play. It is a little bit on the players. The players have to, but let's not forget this is part of the CBA that they voted on.
Yeah.
So
they're hard up for cash, and they're not gonna sit out. They won't sit out.
It's a double-edged sword, because as fans we love the parity, but if for the players' sake, it sucks, man. You want to see the players get taken care of, especially in a sport like football. But as a fan, again,
and it's not like Torrey Smith had a monster contract anyway. He was only due like $4 million this year, and I think he took a $3 million pay cut, and he can get another $1 million in like incentives and bonuses and whatnot. So I just don't like. I understand everything that you guys are saying, but to me, it's basically like, look, we're just gonna kind of like throw this out there as a tease, and if you perform, you got it. But if you get hurt or if you underperform, then we're just going to kind of take this money back. And it's almost like having an entire pie.
Right.
And you just give them like a fourth or a slice of the pie. And it's like, well, we got this other guy who wants some of this pie. So we're gonna take it from you. But thanks for everything that you did.
We need to empower our NFL brothers to sit out for an entire year. And shame the scales and take their money.
I'm not going to do that.
The NFL, though, is probably the toughest of the 4 major professional leagues to play in, besides, and I'm not talking, I mean, physically, the NHL, but you combine the physicality of the NFL, combined with the fact that it's just harder to get into the league. Yeah. It's harder to win the championship. There are great players who
harder to stay in the league.
Harder to stay in the league. The average career length is three seasons. Yeah, so you got a guy like Torrey Smith who's been around the league. He was a contributor to a team. I think he feels like, hey, I got a shot here with Carolina. I'm gonna, if me signing for less is gonna bring in Gerald McCoy, which would be a game changer. If Gerald McCoy is the same Gerald McCoy he was in Florida, then the Panthers are gonna be a team to reckon with. I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right,
no doubt.
All right, I'm going to go back to my producers.
You want to come join us? We want to talk about Cookout Protocol.
Oh, yes.
All right, so we're going to jump into our culture segment. It's that season. City Boys on the track. We're going to talk about Cookout Protocol and basically the do's and don'ts of Cookout season. So Vince, you had some questions.
Yeah. So I typed up some questions. So I don't know where this is gonna go, but I got like 6 or 7 questions typed up, and we just gonna go. Okay.
All right, let's get to it.
So it's unofficially the summer. We got all cookouts are starting out, all this good stuff. So, first question. What makes a cookout a cookout? What do you have to have?
You gotta have the grill. You gotta have a charcoal grill, because if you have a gas grill,
you're cheating.
No, you're roasting food.
You're cheating.
You're cheating.
You're cheating.
You're cheating, and then you gotta have some good barbecue sauce. You gotta marinate. You gotta have the music. You gotta have a tent. That's a cookout to me.
Now you crossing bougie line. I ain't got no tent. Now
It's been too long in the land.
Yeah, right. I ain't got no doggone tent.
Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that.
Oh, man.
You stole everything I said. Now, I will say this: good alcohol makes it cookout. You have to have good alcohol.
I don't drink like that.
That's fine.
That's more alcohol for him.
More alcohol for me. All right. You have to have a good cooking section. Here's what I mean. You ever go over somebody's house and the grill is like right next to the damn door, and you just like, man, you might want to move that grill because the space is so confined. You know what I mean? You have to have a good space to have a good space to grill. Okay, you have to. What else? You have to have good beer. I said good alcohol, right? Good music. You already said that. You have to have good people for a cookout. Like, you can't have, it can't be tense. Like, a cookout you have to be loose.
You can't have the baby and Ken Coldheart.
No.
Hey, for some families, that's a good cookout.
Right.
Somebody get knocked out.
You got an uncle over there sitting there like, man, like, it's like that.
Let them go.
All right, let's move on. Okay, give me some cookout no-nos.
Okay,
Go first.
I'm gonna say one thing that we forgot. You gotta have extracurriculars. Got spades game.
Gotcha.
Oh, we get to that. We get to that.
All right.
Alright.
So no-nos is you have to know the culture of your cookout. I don't want to go cliche with raisins and a potato salad. That's cliche, but I've been to cookouts where somebody's like, "Yo, I'm bringing mac and cheese," and you know how I'm sure we all like the same style of mac and cheese, but then you get the
crab mac and cheese.
We got a raw truck over here, so he might. It's tense at his cookout.
Yeah.
Look, one rule is. It's my house. I control the music, and we are not listening to Beyonce before I let go at my cookout.
Oh God!
You stole one of my questions.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
We all in agreement there.
You're not playing that.
So it's the Frankie Bailey version.
If it's not the Frankie Bailey version, it does not get played.
Not get played.
That is not proper protocol.
And one more, you don't play Eminem in my cookout. I don't want to hear no rabbity dabbity dabbity. No, turn that off.
So what is it?
I knew there was gonna be a conflict.
It's about an MP3 player, like.
So what is getting played? Hey, Rodney, so what music is getting played?
Something, a little bit of everything.
Look at his t-shirt. Well, you know what's getting played.
It's going to be 2 Chainz, some trap, some good R&B. You're going to have some 80s funk. You're going to have some Rick James out there. You're going to have some 70s stuff. You're going to have a little bit of everything, man.
Okay, so look, now, I'm from the country, right? So I come from the wholesome country, tight-knit family type of place or whatnot. If I play trap music at our cookout, you
gotta know your audience.
So like the older generation in your family, are they allowing trap music being played?
So
because it's not happening to tell like that.
So recently we had a cookout for my cousins in Houston. So they have their Louisiana music, Screw playing my side piece, that little song right there. they got that song out. They got that song out there, and then it was cool to play some of the trap stuff, but it had to be edited.
Gotcha.
And so
okay.
Out of respect for older people, I would never play cussing music. I would never do that.
Good.
Okay.
I actually have a playlist called Cookout on my Untitled playlist. Is there a problem, Rodney?
Is the title or is it yours?
It's mine. I made it. Jamal made it.
Come on, Jamal.
Let me preface my statement by saying this. I'm the resident music snob in my family. Nobody likes the music I like. And let me also say,
be cool.
listen, and I don't care. If it's at my house, You're going to listen to exactly what I want to listen to. And if I get drunk enough, I'll let you take over. But until that point, we're going to listen to everything I like and what I feel is cookout music. Now, I have a good eclectic mix. Like, if I'm thinking cookout, I'm thinking like my aunts, my cousins. Like, there's all age ranges going on. You know what I'm saying? So there's some edited hip hop on my playlist. There's also some Gap Band. There's some D'Angelo. There's Tony. There's Maxwell. There's Force and D's, young boy. I don't know nothing about that. There's Tina Marie. There's Shaka Khan. There's a very eclectic mix. Now again, if you don't like it, tough crap, because it's my house. So again, man, I just kind of, my playlist wants to fit all age ranges.
Gotcha.
That's
the key to
now.
cookout.
There's one no you don't do at my house. You do not bring PBR. If you bring PBR beer, I will kick you out of my house. That is do not bring PBR beer. Do not bring that piss beer at my house. Don't bring it.
And don't bring something that only you gonna drink. Don't do that.
Right.
Like, you need to bring.
Hey, how about the Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Okay.
Somebody did that.
I got a scenario. This question was supposed to be at the end, but since we're talking alcohol, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the question out there now, right? So it's the end. It's the end of the cookout. Half the people don't left. The few people that's there, they cleaning up, they helping you out. Everybody get to go place and all that good stuff.
Right.
When these people start leaving, are they allowed to take some of the alcohol home with them? Or does the alcohol stay with the host?
You bring alcohol to my house, it stays in my house.
Absolutely.
And that's that simple.
See, when I drunk, I agree with that. Sometimes I just try to get it out the house.
It depends. So,
Ain't no alcohol in my house.
So y'all can't see it. It's a bar here, and a lot of times a lot of the alcohol that's there is alcohol that people brought. So,
you don't bring it in there.
Yeah, you bring it, and that is kind of like that's the payment to the host.
Well, and let me also say this. And this is a humble brag. Let me be very clear about that. I actually have a bar at my house. It was a lot more full in months past. Now, I have been gracious enough to let people drink half of the stuff at my bar and not bring anything. So you damn sure believe if you bring it on my house, it stays at my house, because I have been gracious enough to let people drink my stuff.
Beer, especially because cookout, you're gonna get a lot of beer. A lot of times,
I'll tell people to take some beer.
Hard liquor, that stays.
That stays.
I mean, if you bring like some top level stuff to the house, half the bottle's good. Leave it.
It's a judgment call.
Now, what if the bottle ain't been open?
Ain't been open?
It was so much alcohol, the bottle didn't even get open.
Did they bring it?
Yeah.
To my house?
Yeah.
It stays. It stays.
Vince is like, nah, I don't believe in that.
And I'm gonna tell you where this question come from. I went to a game night at a friend's apartment about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
Right.
And I was one of the last ones there. So we were cleaning up and everything, and a few people took some alcohol. And I didn't think that. I was like, they're cleaning up, like that's like their thank you to them. So they took, and like the host was, she was upset. She was mad, man. And so to me, again, I was completely fine with it. And if I was hosting, I would be okay if a few people took some alcohol if they stayed and like.
So if you brought alcohol and you decide to take it back with you, I mean, we're not gonna beef right there.
Yeah.
But I'll remember that. Next time
I might not even say anything at the time.
I might not say anything, but I'll be like, you're gonna bring alcohol and take it back with them.
But, look, because I'm gonna wind up probably bringing it back to your cookout or something like that.
Yeah.
I got half a bottle left. We're gonna finish this off over here.
Right now, and I'm sure you've had this happen. Like you might have a little bar and you have that one bottle. Like you have some Hennessy White. Like some Hennessy White that somebody gave you. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, that's the one bottle. That's mine right there. But you forget to
put it up.
And then you look and like 3/4 of it is gone.
Oh man!
And the people who drink it hadn't bought anything.
Ooh,
that's happened before.
Yeah,
that's happened.
The reason you leave alcohol is because you are partaking in the other alcohol.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you brought that.
But there's always that one sneaky dude who want to bring the E and J or something nobody's drinking. But they want to drink everything else that's on that bar. Like I see y'all.
All right, so we're at the cookout still. There's 3 different types of or age ranges. So you got the old people, you got everybody in the middle, and then you got all the kids.
Right.
Everybody like under 18.
Right.
Who eats first?
Kids.
Kids eat
But they
first.
don't eat the good stuff.
No, they eat the hot dogs and the smaller burgers.
Yeah.
You can't have the kids eating the steak and the
Steak
ribs.
and the
Yeah,
lobster.
right. No, we ain't doing
They eat hot
that.
dogs and chips and beans.
All right, that was these. All right, next question. So, what games are y'all playing? Because this is the game that I play. And none of y'all
There's one. Come on, the number one
This
answer.
is
Spades.
I don't know how to play spades, but there's gonna be a spades table in my house.
Say that first part again.
I don't know how to play spades. I've never learned. My parents know, but they never taught me. I don't know how to play spades.
Okay, now.
I ain't never seen nobody who listens to so much trap music don't know how to play spades. Well, you all.
Well, in my family, that was like a rite of passage. Right. You got past the deck like as a child. You knew how.
The only thing I know is books and cutting and reading, and that's all I know.
That's it. That's the rule.
You're from what? Charleston, right?
Yeah.
You're from Charleston. Went to college.
They played it in college. I just
And you
watched
don't
it.
know how to play spades.
Unbelievable.
We're gonna get you right.
Yeah, I don't know how to play.
And you got 10 since your cookouts.
I know how to play. I'm not good. I know how to play.
And you got 10 since your cookouts.
Yeah, I got 10, yeah.
You were man.
Oh, man. Okay, so.
All right, so you got maybe dominoes.
Yeah.
That's
for the hardcore right there.
Xbox with the gamers upstairs.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
some
you
2K,
Yep.
2K some man.
Yep.
What do y'all think about like I call these old people games like Bid Whist?
I never played
I never
So
played Bid Whist.
people in my family play some Bid Whist, Tonk, stuff like
Play
that.
Tonk, play Peter Pan.
As long as you got the facilities to, so if someone says, "Hey man, let's play a game of Tonk or Spades,"
Right.
that's fine. You don't have to play anything specific, but you gotta have decks and decks of cards, and
Jenga and all the other stuff, and kids out
Jenga's-
there,
yeah.
kids out there with the water guns playing the
Right.
game.
Right.
That's
Is
typical.
throwing shade a game in the competition?
Oh.
Because that goes on in my family cookouts. Like the shade throwing is
Shady games.
It's almost a competition at the crib. I don't know if that counts as not, but
All right, I got one more question, and then we'll let this conversation go wherever, okay? So I went to Walmart this morning on the way up here, and I bought some condiments. I'm going to show you guys what I bought right quick, all right?
No.
So,
So you said about some condoms. I'm like,
in this bag, no condoms,
I'm
no.
not that kind of party.
In this bag, I got some Sticky Fingers Carolina Sweet barbecue sauce, all right?
I've used it.
I got some Heinz yellow mustard.
There's only one mustard to use. Okay.
I got some Heinz no sugar added ketchup.
All right.
health food ketchup.
I don't know about that. No sugar.
I got some Texas Pete hot sauce.
There's only one.
What? I don't know
What's
how
wrong with you?
Okay, and I got some A1 steak sauce.
All right.
So,
you cook good steak.
you're out.
He eats well done.
Oh, and we'll talk about that. We talk about that. We're out. Well, you're out and you're buying stuff, but you only got enough money for 3 of these. Which 2 do you leave on the shelf?
Which 2?
Which 2 do you leave behind?
Okay, so
And why?
Well, okay, so
you go ahead.
you gotta have the ketchup and mustard.
Yeah,
You have to.
Right.
You don't need A1, even though I like A1,
love A1.
but
you cook a good steak.
Yeah, we all know the rule. You cook a good steak, you don't need A1. So it comes down to these 2. I would put the Texas Pete back.
You must be crazy. You must be crazy.
Because you gotta have barbecue sauce.
You gotta have barbecue sauce, man.
What is the number one question people ask when they eating chicken
I
and
know,
everything
you
else?
got some hot sauce.
You got some hot sauce.
But
And y'all
I mean,
Take your ass to the store, buy you some hot sauce.
must be
gotta
crazy,
have
man.
barbecue sauce.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would hate to put this back, but it's like if you go
Whoa, this is what I do.
if you go to a cookout and they're like, "Yo, what you putting on them ribs?" And you're like, "Nothing."
Since y'all anyway.
Texas Pete.
I lay that and I take these 2 back. You don't need no mustard.
I personally don't like mustard. So I'm probably taking the mustard.
I'm the weird one.
I could deal with that.
I'm probably taking the mustard and the no sugar added ketchup. You need real ketchup. What is this no sugar added crap?
I'm not a ketchup
What
eater.
is this
So
Trader Joe's
Now,
ketchup?
and here's the
I'm not
thing.
catching me the easy
Now,
way.
I got this. I seen a meme on Facebook a couple days ago, and that's where I got this question from. Now, which one was it? I think it was the barbecue sauce wasn't a part of it. I added this to it because if I didn't have this, it would have been mayonnaise.
Ooh.
And
Oh, no.
exactly. So I was like, that was too easy.
Easy,
That
yeah.
would have been too easy. So I replaced. So it was these 4 and the mayonnaise. So I took the mayonnaise out. I got the Carolina Sweet, and yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe y'all said hot.
I mean, dog, you can't have a cookout with
Y'all play Beyonce before I let go, don't you? Y'all play it, don't you?
No.
I think.
And besides, there's a debate over whether or not you should even be using Texas Pete over Tabasco. I'm just saying.
Texas Pete North Carolina made though. So another cookout rule for me is, if you invite me to your cookout, you better not buy me those frozen patted out burgers. You need to buy the ground beef and pat them out yourself and season it yourself and make me a burger.
I'm with you.
And then another one, you come to my cookout, the steaks ain't for y'all. The steaks are for me and my wife for later on. So if you want a steak, you need to come to my house with a steak that's seasoned already and tell me the temperature you want your steak cooked.
Let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel about this? Have y'all ever been invited to a cookout and people ask you to bring like some outrageous stuff? Like, hey man, I got a cookout, dog, but man, if you could bring like a slab of ribs, man. And you just be like, dog, what's the point of having?
Well, if it's family, I've heard that before.
Is there levels to it? Like if it's
I feel like
if you gonna have a cookout, you should.
First of all, it's an unwritten rule that you bring something. I don't feel like that should have
No. Listen, you bring something. Yeah, you do bring something. But when people ask you to bring meat,
that's on the.
Hey, dog, like,
hey man, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about bring your own meat cookout though.
If you set the tone to it, fine, man.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's generally accepted. Okay, here's the main things we're gonna eat at this cookout.
Right.
We're gonna eat. You're gonna have hot dogs and hamburgers.
There you go.
Okay, you're gonna do that.
There you go.
You're probably gonna barbecue some ribs, some chicken,
right,
and then maybe some other stuff. And then if somebody else wants to bring something like, hey, I'm gonna bring some steaks for me and my peoples, then that's cool. I don't feel like you should add that. Yeah, asking people to bring the main entree is no. If you want to bring the sides, hey, I heard you make a good potato salad. You want to bring that?
Right.
Doubled eggs, whatever. Yes, but hey, man, bring a slab of ribs.
So if I bring a slab of ribs, can I now take some alcohol with me?
Oh, good question. Good question.
Because ribs ain't cheap.
No, I would be cool with that. I feel like your Vince bought them St. Louis joints. Okay, yeah.
Go ahead and add that. Take that EJ with you.
People ain't drinking.
Take that EJ with you.
Take that Parmesan with you.
Take that Russian vodka with you.
Hey y'all, them all the questions that I had, man. Them all the questions. Y'all got anything y'all want to add?
We might have covered it all, man. Just set the expectations, man. Don't have a cookout and be like, yo, man, bring like everything, and I just got the grill in the house. Like, nah, dog. Like,
man, you said,
hey. Also, if you got a baby grill, don't have a cookout. Rent a grill, buy a grill. You got a baby girl, don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that. It's more trouble for you.
It's more trouble for you.
So you send out the text message. No. So whoever is hosting, send the text message or the Facebook invite. You guys get the invite, right? The cookout or whatnot starts at 2:00.
Right.
What time y'all getting there?
Probably 4:30.
Yeah.
3:45.
4:30.
So right before it's time to make to-go plays.
Well, you got. Hey, how many people there? What's it look like?
Speaking of how many people there, I don't know if this has ever happened to y'all, but I told my one long time ago over the summer, I told about 4 or 5 people. I said, yeah, I'm throwing some stuff on the grill. And I meant for 4 or 5 people. So I'm throwing some stuff on the grill. Y'all come through. Oh, okay. 4 or 5 people turn into 15 people. How do y'all feel about that?
So, if you're gonna bring somebody,
you need to bring stuff.
Right.
Because look, I had 4 or 5 steaks. Now you got 15 people. Sorry, I don't know what y'all gonna eat now.
Well, this is what I do. Them 4 or 5 steaks, them 4 or 5 people that brought people, I got a whole steak for me, and I'll cut your steak in half.
I mean,
give it to some.
That's when it turns into a potluck. That's when you say, well, y'all gonna have to get some more food. I think it's acceptable, right?
Well, the thing is in that specific scenario, I would hope people, hey man, is it cool if I bring somebody? And you say, sure, just make sure you bring something.
Well, here's specifically how it happened. Hey, I'm gonna bring, 1 or 2 people, and then 1 or 2 people was like 4 or 5 people. Like, what happened? Well, she told this and he told them, and like, yeah.
And I would hope that whoever did that it will automatically resonate with them that, hey, maybe I should bring something.
Hey, maybe I should bring some chips. Or some,
maybe
some
I should bring
sodas.
something.
But then there's always the cups and plates guy. I'm the cups and plates guy.
You need cups.
Well, I'm not really a cups and plate guy. I'm more of a plastic spoon and fork guy.
I'm the ice guy.
Exactly. And then I'm running late, and I'm texting you saying, "Hey, do you need some ice?" To make it seem like I contributed to the event. So yeah.
Okay, making a plate for someone who didn't come.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
No.
Only family.
Only
No,
family.
even still,
Only disabled family. Not
People
family.
who couldn't be
People who
there.
physically
Because
couldn't
you
be
know-
there.
Like if my mom comes, she makes one for my brother. That's acceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, me and my family.
Immediate family.
Me and my family usually have a big cookout every year. And, you know, we have disabled people in our family who can't make it. So, of course, we're going to make them a plate. But your homeboy who ain't make it and who just hungry and he broke and he can't afford it, no, man, we not doing that, man.
So what is the plate making etiquette? So like, let's say
you already know the answer to that
there's
question.
one piece of croaker left in the pan. What you do?
I'll take it.
Me personally, I look out for people. I'm like, okay.
Man, you can't be giving Aunt Gracie the
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you got to take when they got an abundance of. Like, oh man,
Right.
I'm like, man, they got all these hot dogs. Oh, they know they gonna have a hot
So
dog.
y'all giving Auntie all the nasty stuff.
So
boy. Y'all
here's
terrible,
my
boy.
deal.
Y'all terrible, man.
And that's why I asked y'all about what time I get at. Because like, if I got there at a decent time and I contributed, I played games, I cleaned up and all that good stuff, I'm taking whatever the hell that I want. Now,
Okay,
I'm taking what I want. But if the cookout starts at 2:00 and you show up at 4:30 and you sit in one chair and you just stay to yourself and gossip and all that, and then you get up and you go make 3 or 4 or 5 plates, like,
Look at
we
you.
got
Yeah,
problems.
we gonna
Because
look at
I've
some.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
We've all seen
We gonna
it.
look at you.
Yeah. So like, I think it depends on the person, depends on the situation. Yeah.
All right.
So
Got you. So we're gonna move on. I want to throw a subject out there.
Okay.
It's a surprise.
okay.
Oh, wow.
We're not gonna go too far into details.
Okay.
So a rapper got beat up in the mall. In South Park Mall, in front of all the other people, and it's plastered all over social media.
Boy.
How do you guys feel about that?
It's
Does it make Charlotte look bad?
No such thing as negative press.
It's really not.
And this is a lot of extra stuff going into it. We're not going to dive deep because we're not street people. We're just regular working men.
Yeah, we like
Drama.
breathing. We like the blood being on the inside of our body. So like, we don't want no smoke.
We don't want no smoke.
Is it bad for the people involved? No. Is it bad for Charlotte?
It was bad for one person involved.
It was very bad for him.
In his defense, he did get jumped. I believe he did get jumped.
But
It's still bad that you.
but you have to what led to that? It's not like he was just sitting there chilling and got jumped.
Right.
Yeah, look at this being like, oh shit.
Especially in South Park. So for those of you that are watching that don't live in Charlotte or not from Charlotte, South Park Mall is like
The Ritzy Mall.
yes, it is the crown
classy,
jewel of malls in North Carolina. You only go there to shop if you have a lot of money, or you are going there to specifically buy something that costs a lot of money.
Right.
Or you go there to look good.
Now here's something that this literally just came to me. We all know what happened. We've all talked about it. We've posted about it. We commented on it. I haven't seen that one news source report on it. And normally they're all over stuff like that.
Good point.
Which brings me to the question I was going to ask. I'm sorry. I have to ask it. Let me be the butthole. Let me be the jerk. Look staged to me, man. I'm sorry. I have to ask, man. Was this staged, man?
Hey, look, ain't no press that good to be in your drawers.
For the people,
days to confuse. Ain't no press that good.
Now, for the people who don't know who we're talking about, I think we need to like put the names out there. So
It's Mr. Coldheart Cam. He's from the east side of Charlotte.
Okay.
The baby, maybe the north side or the west side.
Okay.
The baby. Yeah, him. and his security or brother. I don't know. I think it's his brother, but
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, if my brother was being taunted by somebody bigger than him in the mall, we both gonna fight the guy.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
the
sorry.
altercation was justified, but
yeah.
I mean,
I'm a little sketch on it. I think it was a little state, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it was state, because if you look at the baby's Instagram, you see the dude Cam Coldheart. The first of 3 vids is him talking into his phone, saying, "Hey, look at the," da 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 da.
Right.
And then the other 2 videos come from like Cam's perspective, not Cam, but the baby's perspective. So how did?
Well, actually, I was following Cam before because I know some people that know him.
Okay.
So I was following him before, and so I knew something popped off before when he posted the thing, like, look at this. I was like, oh crap. And then like he posted, I got jumped. I'm gonna put this out here before he puts it out there.
Yeah,
I thought that.
So Cam put it first.
Stole his phone.
So he took Cam's first footage. And then added the other 2 footages on it.
So he took it. He texted the.
No. Like you could take the video and record it from the phone, I guess. But
I'm lost, but I'm.
It's just weird. He probably. I mean, if you got beat up like that, he probably didn't know where his phone was at anyway.
It's video from Cam's phone that's on the baby's IG, and I'm trying to figure out.
How did that happen?
What was the chance for it? Did they airdrop it? That's
probably.
That's an iPhone. Sorry, y'all weren't gonna say that. But did he?
You iPhone.
You been to Atlanta lately? This bouginess.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, it does look a little suspect to me.
It is. I got a lot of questions on a lot of stuff that we're not
my
going to
thing
discuss
is, who puts themselves out like that?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you get slumped by
I'm-
a fairly now famous rapper who was just having newfound fame, and it was bad too.
I mean,
his
it was
pants
horrible.
Got knocked
Got a little
out.
bloody on the floor.
Yeah, he lied in the middle of South Park Mall with his drawers hanging
Man.
out.
Did you see the baby got to put on the t-shirt? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, he got a t-shirt.
Yeah, so like he's like this, and then Cam was like laying on his head.
And he had like doodle stains in the drawer.
Yo, that's
Who would agree to be the B-side?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then Cam has a shirt too. He's like, y'all scratch me. He got like the baby in the Catwoman suit. It said Catwoman's on it because he's crazy. He baby
man. And the thing is,
this is
like,
so bad.
man, a staged L, is it really worth?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I understand
man,
you might want more press, but man, like,
If
is that worth it, man?
social media, people actually built like that because like I saw a comment somewhere where he ended up getting like an extra 15,000 followers
right?
after that.
Right.
And,
He's up to like almost 70,000 now.
yeah, and now, who on this panel can name any of his songs or anything about him other than Rodney?
Right.
Other than Rodney.
Not me. Not
I never heard of
Never heard of you
I
before. I never heard of
it.
you before that. So.
And it sucks, you know, as suspect as it looked, you know, sometimes any publicity is good publicity.
Man.
And I think that's really
Man, look,
so-
push come to shove, I'm gonna get my ass whooped for 60,000 followers on
Okay,
YouTube.
if it was just him getting slumped in the mall, maybe. But he got on Instagram and had this ridiculous video.
Yeah,
Yo,
right.
I'm still pretty, lip all
I'm going out tonight. I'm going out tonight,
And
man.
that to me, that's where he really took the L.
Right.
It's like,
I left
you
it
know,
alone.
hey, sometimes you lose a fight. That's understandable.
I mean, especially if you get jumped. You
But,
don't lose the fight.
but then he was like, but yo, I respect, you know, nothing but love. How, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
No,
What are you talking about?
I honestly, I think he said that to kind of cover his tracks because he knew some other shit was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't going to put it all out there. It's like
Here's something else that was pretty funny to me. When the baby made the post with the video and that, did y'all see all the blue check marks that was commenting on it?
Man.
Bruh.
He famous.
There was a lot of blue check marks.
And again, and it makes me believe this was all set up. Man.
But then I'm gonna shout out the baby too. I like trap music to a certain point because I'm getting older now and I'm starting to like. I'm not starting to like everything.
Really?
Not mature.
Really.
I like to turn up every now
Well,
and then in the car. I like to turn up in the car. I'm a drug dealer till I get to work. So one thing that he is doing, he's actually putting actual other Charlotte guys on, which is big in a sense.
Yeah, right. Right.
Not my content. I ain't in my 20s.
Right. But I think everybody. Nobody would dislike the fact that Charlotte dudes are getting on, man. Even though I hope it's not going to be these clownish ways we've been seeing, but it will be. It probably will be because that's just what today's climate is. But more power to them, man. As long as they get on, I guess.
All right, so we're gonna wrap that up because we're not street people. We're not gonna dive into other stuff.
All of us going to work tomorrow, so
we're safe. We're scared.
I drive at 10 and 2.
Right.
I drive with Ford Focus. We're gonna dive into our shout outs. You guys have any shout outs for the week?
I want to shout out my boy Jamaal Cowan, who gave us some props yesterday, who was also a very prominent poet on the Charlotte scene. Anytime people come up to me and give us props on the show, man, it always means a lot. So the least I could do is shout you out. Shout out to all the Charlotte poets out there. Too many of y'all to name, but you know who you are. Congratulations on your home purchase, Jamaal, and that's my only shout out for the week.
So somebody buying a home and I'm not the real estate agent.
It was bought months ago.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
You've been an agent for 2-3 years.
I didn't even know.
I appreciate that it says, man.
We're going to do this really, man.
My shout out is very somber. I think on...
Why y'all just giving somber shout outs, man? I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, and here's the deal. I got a lot of people I can shout out, but I'm just going to do one because you guys know I speak in paragraphs. So, I watched the Netflix documentary, When They See Us.
I was watching it before I got here.
First off, on a more positive note, shout outs to everybody involved in that project. The casting, the acting was A1, impeccable. So just shout out to Ava for her vision. It was like a 4-year project.
Yeah.
So shout out to her for her vision, the way that she went about doing it, her due diligence, all that good stuff. Shout outs to the character who played. Help me out, y'all. What was the 16-year-old? What was I can't think. I'm drawing a blank now.
The one with the school, right?
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
But he played in Moonlight. He won like best kids for Moonlight and all that good stuff. I thought that was a real guy. He played that role so great. I've seen people start comparing him to like the next Denzel Washington.
Wow.
Like his role was like that impactful.
Right.
But I mentioned the documentary because obviously what happened to those guys was just embarrassing on so many levels, and for them to survive that whole ordeal, I feel like I just at least got to give some sort of acknowledgments and shout out. So I know it's kind of not good to be for us to like kind of put them in a box and call them the Central Park Five, but that's what they're known as. So just want to say shout outs for overcoming all that. I think 3 or 4 of them they're married, they're feminine, they're activists now. They have their own clothing. Like they rose out of it.
Right.
But it was a definite injustice, and just good luck the rest of the way, Joe.
No doubt.
Mine is not quite as serious, but I'm gonna give a shout out to the Charlotte Checkers and in general Charlotte minor league professional sports. We often forget about minor league sports because we all love the major sports. But Charlotte has a very, very long history of minor league professional sports. We wouldn't even have the Charlotte Hornets if it wasn't for the Charlotte O's, which became the Charlotte Knights. And if you remember the Charlotte O's, you are a true Charlottean. So shout out to them. The Charlotte Checkers are playing in the Calder Cup Finals, their first ever. Game 1 is tonight. So if you don't know what hockey's about, I'm trying to get a ticket to one of the 2 home games, either here and then there's another one on Tuesday, or actually, I think they play tonight. They played game 1 last night. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. So shout out to sports in Charlotte and all the minor league guys chasing their dreams, and we'll cheer for you in the big league. So,
I got 2 shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my brother. He turned 24 today. Love you, kid. We'll see you later. And I just want to give a shout out to the era of clout. It is big in Charlotte and social media.
Knocked out for some clout.
Yeah, knocked out for some class. That's a song.
Yeah, we better trademark that.
Yeah, let's trademark
for the baby.
Get a hold of
Yeah, I know, right?
shirt.
Because remember, anybody can get
Anybody can get got. Anybody can get shot.
Shout out to Stephen A. Smith.
Shout out to Stephen A.
We'll see y'all next week.
Hey, appreciate y'all watching.